welcome to today's class. We are continuing the elasticity, and so far we have discussed something like stress, strain, types of stress, type of strain, and also we have understood why we have undergone the Hooke's law, and also we observe how it is experimentally verified. Now today we have to proceed further in case if we have such type of experiment where stress and strain are varied, that is stress is varied, due to which strain also varies, and by that way if we draw a load extension curve or a stress strain curve, then we can very easily have the characteristic of the different stages of solid. Okay, different stages of solid. That means suppose we are suspending a wire from a rigid support, and then we keep on putting the loads, or we are changing the stress continuously, we are increasing the stress, and then what will be the changes in the strain form or in the nature of the solid, in the nature of the wire, that we have to discuss in this curve. That is stress strain curve for a metallic wire. Okay, the curve like this is the stress and this is the strain. We can see initially the stress is directly proportional to strain, that is as soon as the stress is removed, the body come back to its original size and shape. There is no change, and even after some time they are not directly proportional, that is that they are not increases in the same order as the stress is increased, but elasticity still prevails. तो अब यहाँ से क्या होता है, ये this type of curve मिलता है आपको. You can get this type of curve where OA is totally straight line which moves from this which passes through the origin O, and therefore this can give you the proportionality region. This portion is your O to A is definitely elastic behavior. It gives the elastic behavior or proportionality region. Okay, this is called proportionality region. This portion OA part. Okay, this is proportionality region. That means this O to A, where we can see straight line, means stress varies directly with strain. After A to B region, if we say that their stress is not directly increases or decreases with that of strain, but if the entire load is removed, the body comes back to its original size and shape. That means up to point B elasticity prevails, up to point B, but proportionality is not there between A and B, and only O to A proportionality is maintained. That means space is proportional to strain, and Hooke's law is valid there. Okay, but beyond B or up to B, elasticity is maintained. Therefore, we can call it as elastic limit or yield point. This is called elastic limit or yield point. And beyond point B, what happens if we increase the load, then length increases and the strain increases. But if by chance we remove the entire force from the wire, then body will never come back to its original form. That is, body, if suppose we have a point C, then C A O will not be the path of zero stress, zero strain. That is, if we decrease the stress to be zero, then strain will not be zero, but rather a new strain comes. That is OE strain आ जाता है. यानी कि यहाँ पर वो B तक का तो सिस्टम अलग है, लेकिन B के बाद की बात है. कोई और पॉइंट मैंने C लिया तो वहाँ देखा जाता है कि वेट हटाने के बाद भी थोड़ा बहुत उसमें लेंथ में इंक्रीज रहता है. तो दैट मीन इट इज इन प्लास्टिक रीजन. तो B and onward, this area is your plastic region. Beyond B, it is plastic region. It has already been mentioned. Okay, and O to B, it is elastic region, and beyond B, it is plastic region. Now, as we keep on increasing the load, there could be a particular tensile stress at which the string can break. That is flux fracture point or breaking point. There the corresponding stress will be called as breaking stress. Remember, corresponding stress is called breaking stress, or that we call as fracture stress or tensile stress. In that way, we have determined what is the stress-strain relationship for this curve. Okay, and in other words, we can say it is in fact a real result from the experimental setup. एक्सपेरिमेंटल सेटअप से ये रिजल्ट मिलता है, जबकि ये कर्व खींचा गया, लोड बढ़ाते गए और कैसे कैसे उसमें चेंज आता है स्ट्रेस और स्ट्रेन में, इस टाइप का आ गया. इसके बाद जो हम लोग जो देखते हैं दैट इज हुक्स लॉ को यहाँ तक हमने देखा था. तो हुक्स लॉ में वी हैव सीन दैट इज द रेशियो बिटवीन स्ट्रेस एंड कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग स्ट्रेन इज कॉल्ड योर इलास्टिक कांस्टेंट, elastic coefficient, or what we call the modulus of elasticity. Here in the new revised syllabus, there has not been anything like modulus of rigidity. There is nothing like the potential energy of a stressed wire. There is no relation for the time taken. There is no relation for the temperature effect. Anyway, but the temperature effect is important. I must tell you, once I tell you the Young's modulus and bulk modulus. Okay, let us see Young's modulus and bulk modulus. For that, I have to remove the entire board. Now we have to take Young's modulus, as the Young's modulus is modulus of elasticity, and that gives the ratio between longitudinal stress and longitudinal strain. According to Hooke's law, we have already said that stress is directly proportional to strain, and the ratio of stress to corresponding strain is modulus of elasticity. Then first type of thing which is in the syllabus of yours is your Young's modulus for the material of a wire. Okay. Now what we say is the Young's modulus is equal to longitudinal stress upon longitudinal strain. A longitudinal stress can be equal to longitudinal stress, that is written by capital S, equal to force upon area. If the cross-sectional radius is r, then area is pi r square, and F is your mg, pi r square is your stress. Now let us take longitudinal strain. Longitudinal strain, it is represented by small s. Small s is equal to change in length upon original length. Change in length is small l upon original length is capital L. Okay, this is what we have, this type of thing, and with that effect, what we can get, that is Young's modulus y equal to mg upon pi r square whole upon small l by capital L, mg capital L upon pi r square into small l. This is Young's modulus, and Young's modulus has the same unit which the stress has, because strain is unitless quantity, and therefore its unit is Newton per meter square, and dimension is ml minus 1 t minus 2. This is what we have Young's modulus all about. And if anybody asks you what is Young's modulus, Young's modulus is a modulus of elasticity, and which gives the ratio between longitudinal stress and longitudinal strain. With that, we have completed Young's modulus. Now suppose without removing the entire board, suppose we have to take bulk modulus, then what will be our bulk modulus? The diagram is changed definitely. Is another type of modulus of elasticity is your bulk modulus. Bulk modulus, as the name implies, something very bulk means large. That means volume. In the case of Young's modulus, we have had only the length had to be noticed. The increase in length has to be counted. But here the entire volume of the substance has to be changed. As you know, solid has 3 dimensions. And in that way, we can have bulk modulus as a ratio between normal stress and volume strain. As the name implies here, you can observe. Suppose we have the cross-sectional view of a 3-dimensional object and which is suppressed from all sides with the equal pressure P. Okay, and then what will happen? It will compress. It will compress and its volume is decreased. Your original volume V दे रखा है, जो dotted दे रखा है. This is the changed volume in fact, and that means there will be some reduction in volume, a change in volume. The change in volume is delta V. Original volume is just V. Okay, and therefore volume strain equal to delta V upon V. Now then we come to normal stress. Okay, normal stress is no doubt it is equivalent to the pressure applied from all direction. It is equivalent to P, and therefore the bulk modulus, which is represented sometime by D by sometime it is represented by K even, B or K, equals to P upon delta V upon V. Sometime we can write even it by delta P. It is immaterial. We write it by P or delta P. I am taking it only P. Therefore, it comes to be P into V upon delta V. This is your bulk modulus. Okay. Remember, the inverse of bulk modulus is called compressibility. The inverse of bulk modulus, that means inverse of bulk modulus is compressibility, and that means it is 1 upon B. And unit of bulk modulus is same as that of Young's modulus. Unit is still that of only pressure, that is Newton meter minus 2, and dimension is NL minus 1 T minus 2. The dimension of all the elastic coefficients, whether we have bulk modulus, Young's modulus, modulus of rigidity, everywhere we have the similar dimension and similar unit, but their definitions are different. We have to take only 2 constant of coefficient of elasticity, and they are bulk modulus and Young's modulus. Okay. And now we have also seen a new quantity, that is compressibility. That means how much a given solid is compressible. कितना उसको compress कर सकते हैं. स्पंज लिया, स्पंज को ऐसे दबाया, बहुत compress हो गया. इसको दिया, ऐसे किया, बहुत compress हो गया. अगर आपको ये बताया जाए, सपोज आपसे कोई पूछे वाटर एंड एयर दोनों सॉलिड नहीं, ध्यान देना, neither water is solid nor air is solid, but if anybody asks you that which is more elastic, if anybody asks you, it is water or solid, remember our answer is it is water. Water is more elastic than solid. Why? Because water cannot be compressed. Water कैसे करेंगे तो water वहीं रहेगा. But air can be compressed. आप जानते हैं एयर को compress करके आप उसको even liquefy भी कर सकते हैं. So that is why what we call the compressible thing, that how much something is compressed, is given by the term compressibility, which is just reverse of the bulk modulus. Larger the compressibility, greater will be larger the compressibility, lesser will be corresponding elasticity or bulk modulus. On the other hand, if compressibility is less, then it is having more elastic nature. Its elasticity is more, and this is what we have, bulk modulus and this thing. Rest of the thing has not been there in the syllabus. Therefore, we have to take only up to this part of the chapter, and with that we have completed the chapter. Okay, thank you.